So, mass communication we have understood about the mass communication, and now we will try and understand of its origin. 2.3 Origin of mass communication. Originated means like when the mass communication was started, when it is originated, when it was started. Okay, in this world, the term mass communication may be considered as a 20th century development. Okay, the term mass communication in 20th century, which means 1900 to 2000, it is a may be considered as a development. Okay, so mass communication was developed in 1900, right? 1900 common era, sending messages to a large number of people and at greater speed was what man was also looking for. Okay, so obviously sending a message to a large number of people and a greater speed man was always looking for. There was a time when men on horseback traveled long distance to convey news about, say, a war, news about, say, a war. So, if I talk about the history before time, so there was a messenger, a man, like during Shivaji Maharaj time. The people used to send message from one clan to another clan. They are using the person, and the person is traveling from horse. Okay, sending message, you have seen in the movie also. And the second one is pigeon were used for the deliver message, pigeons, birds. Okay, and you may have heard of Kalidas, who was one of the greatest Sanskrit poet. In his poem the Meghdut, in this poem the Meghdut, Yaksha, a celestial singer, sent message his own beloved through the uh, through the clouds. The invention of paper and printing. Okay, so there were different means like in the history also. The through pigeons, through the horseback traveler, and through and the Kalidas is the greatest poet, so he's saying the message is sending through the clouds. The paper and printing was invented, and later the newspaper were the first step toward the mass communication. When the paper was invented, then printing was done, and after that the newspaper was okay. Okay, and then but it was only through the telegraph invented by Samuel. Okay, only through the telegraph invented by Samuel F.B. Morse in 1835 that message could be sent to long distance using a code. So telegraph came, and after the telegraph the message also started sending through the code very far. The next step was to send message through a human voice. 1879, Alexander Graham Bell succeeded in using wires to send human voice across long distance. So how it was started? First, then paper, then newspaper came. Then after that, they have telegraph was there, and after telegraph, they started invented the human voice, and 1876 is what succeeded to wire. However, it was the invention of the radio Marconi in 1901 which made sending human voice over long distance possible. 1947, the invention of the transmitter made radio the most popular medium for sending voice messages. Today, television, which can send voice as well as the pictures, is found almost. This was invented by the in 1920, right? So you can see the chronological order it is explaining how the mass communication is invented by a time to time. Clear? So you can say that obviously there is some history is there, like on it from 20th century it was developed. First the people were used to send messages through pigeons, clouds, and the horseback, and after that the paper invented, And then after paper invented, they have used the telegraph, sending messages through post mail. Then after that, human voice through radio, and TV also. Now we have a TV, mobile phone we have. Yeah, the mass media. So mass media are there. We are saying media, but mass media is what? Newspaper is a medium, magazine. Through advertising, we can reach to the number of people. Through films, also we can reach. Through radio, also we can reach. Through TV and internet. Obviously, internet. Clear? You may be wondering what actually is the difference between mass communication and mass media. Now we are sometimes confused that what is the difference between mass media and mass com. The moment someone mentions the term mass media, you would probably think of TV because that is the most popular mass medium today. Clear? And we will discuss mass communication. We use the word channel or medium. Media, as you have already learned, is the plural medium. A medium is just a means used to send message. When we meet someone and speak to the person, it is face communication. But when we talked about the mass medium like TV, like television, it is not face to face communication. There is a mass or a large number of people watching it. The first medium used to communicate large number of people is the newspaper. Okay, and then came truly a mass medium, the radio invented. Then newspaper as a limitation factor. News had collected, compiled, edited, printed, advanced, sent to the people, read them. All this took plenty of time. For example, what you read in morning newspaper was printed around midnight, and this means it does not contain anything that happened after midnight. Of course, those who read a newspaper have to be literate. You will learn more about the different forms of mass media subsequently module. Clear? So if I talk about the mass communication and mass media, like what is the difference between that? Mass communication means like you are communicating with a number of people, and mass media is that media, which media you are using: TV, newspaper, radio, internet, mobile phone, or what. Clear? Now we will try and understand about the various forms of mass media, right? Sorry, now 5 forms of mass media, we will try and understand that, right? 2.4, it is paper. Paper is very important because if there was no paper, nowadays we have seen newspaper or paper only, and it is the one kind of media for the community. Like we can communicate through the number like I want to send message in my area, so newspaper is the best medium. I can reach number of people, right? You have already studied that the invention of newspaper invention of paper was a turning point in communication. Okay, was a turning point in communication. Obviously, because of paper, the communication, because before the people used to communicate very differently, but because of paper, it was a very turning point. And before the invention of paper, writing was done on rock. Before invention of paper, people used to write on rock, fattar, leather, palm leaves. You might have seen some old writings on rocks, or say some stupas of Ashoka, or some old Sanskrit or other Indian documents written on leaves. Though the Chinese are credited with the use of some sort of paper in 105 before Common Era. The word paper is derived from the name plant papyrus that grows on the banks of River Nile in Egypt. Obviously, the paper was discovered in 105. Sorry, it was invented 105 Common Era, right? And basically, the name of the paper was came from the Egypt. Papyrus is a plant. For us today, paper of different kinds and colors is neither a wonder nor a rare thing. Can you think of world without paper? Your studies are almost entirely dependent on paper. Just imagine that. In nowadays there is no paper, so somehow we can use it, but paper is very important. Like without paper we cannot do anything, means anything. Clear? And this is one of the worst case we have. Right? Clear? And your textbook, just imagine without paper how we can learn. Like your textbooks and your books, like whatever you are writing, your questions paper in exam, following forms of different forms you fill in the form, educational, banking, the church sheet, document signature, anything, it's made by paper. Can you also think a world without newspaper or magazine or even wall poster? Just think there is no newspaper in the world. There is no magazine. With paper universally available, ideas and thoughts of people could be shared by others. Right? Paper plays an important role in every field of literally human activity, from education and knowledge to entertainment and businesses. Train, bus, and cinema tickets are made up of paper, right? Train ticket, bus ticket, cinema ticket are made up of paper. Paper is very important. Like if I talk about, just imagine that the world is moving without paper. So it was a very sad situation for everyone. Clear? Okay. Now, now let's try and understand about the printing. Okay. So obviously printing is nothing. Printing is what? Printing is nothing but a paper printing, right? Your examination paper, your book printing, newspaper, magazine. But we will see from the point of view of newspaper, right? Okay, or magazine. It is believed that Jonathan Gutenberg of Germany was the first to develop printing around 1439 Common Era. So it is believed that there was a person in 15th first half of the 15th century. The printing was started by John Gutenberg from Germany, 1439. With printing, there was a revolution in the way communication developed. So printing, the revolution was changed. Okay, knowledge and information, which were till then monopoly of certain section of upper strata of society, slowly became available to ordinary people. The spread of knowledge available to print between the hardcovers was fast. Schools, colleges, universities were placed with their library, making books available those who wanted to read if they could not afford by them. Later, newspaper and journal also became popular. Okay, so printing. If I talk about the printing, was started in Germany by Gutenberg in 1439, and after that it helped the world traditional like drastically. Not only in newspaper magazine, it also helps in education sector. Libraries have found the printing process that Gutenberg developed later underwent much changes and mechanization. So when it was started, it was very different, but now the printing was totally mechanized and it is different, changed totally. Today, printing has become the highly sophisticated and the print media. Print media like newspaper, weeklies, monthlies, magazine, which are capable of printing very fast. Computers have further improved printing operation. You will learn more about printing in your next print media. I am stopping here now because till now we have understood about the how the origination of mass communication, then paper, then print media. Clear? Okay. And this further thing we will learn, like you can see the paper. Paper is papyrus. Early writing, it was this John Gutenberg uh, developed printing, print media, India Today. So yeah, print media newspaper, this is India Today. Clear? Different forms of mass media we will try and understand later. Okay.